Hello everyone and welcome back. In today's video, I am over the moon excited to share with you guys 15 DIY Dollar Tree 4th of July or patriotic decor crafts. So it is time for summer crafting and decorating. I love to do that on a budget. I love to make it as easy as possible. If you guys are new, welcome. I would love to invite you all to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's totally free. If you punch the bell and click all, it will update you every single time I post a new video. And hey, pop over to my Olivias Romantic Home Facebook page. I have a free little group page for you guys to join to post photos of your home decor and DIY projects. Now listen, I know you guys are here for the crafting and decorating, so without further ado, let's go ahead and plug in those glue guns, get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafting.
Just take one of these Dollar Tree tall candles and some Dollar Tree poster board letters. They're already sticky, so all you have to do is peel them off, and we're going to create a USA candle. So this is such an easy craft, and to be honest with you, with my 4th of July decor, I really usually like to do things that are fairly simple. It's smack dab in the middle of summer. I have a lot of activities going on, so you know I love to decorate, but some of these decor pieces need to be simple, so here it is for you. I ran out of my A's, so I just use a V turned upside down. That's a little trick with some of your letters, and then I just cut a little extra strip here to complete it using the A. Now, of course, I had to go a little over the top. You could totally leave it like this, but I decided to take one of these Dollar Tree bows and add it to the base of it just to jazz it up and give it that little bit of extra sparkle and shine. With my hot glue and hot glue gun, I just added some glue to the back of the bow, and the pieces that I trimmed off, I decided to pop in and go in an upwards direction. Now, as I was editing this, I realized it'd be really cute. You could make a little ring of florals around this to make kind of a centerpiece and elevate it on top of a book or a mantle or whatnot. I popped it in to my little dining room decor with those USA signs in the back, and then I want to add a couple of little things maybe to either side of this. I think it is so fun and festive, and it was literally took me about 5 minutes to put together, which I absolutely love for a summertime decor craft. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to create a super adorable 4th of July festive hat. So I'm taking this hat from Dollar Tree and this oversized bow from Dollar Tree. I'm going to layer on another bow, and this is going to be a totally Dollar Tree craft. So super fun. Oh, whoops, except for this greenery. So I'm popping in some greenery on either side of the hat. Now the greenery did come from Michael's. It was in a garland, and I love to cut it apart, so it gives me so much to work with. That's another little tip I have for you guys to get more bang for your buck. I decided also to add in some of these Dollar Tree roses to really fluff it out, and this would be super fun to do in place of a wreath on your front door or whatnot. The sky is the limit. Get creative and have so much fun with this. So I continue to add florals to either side. I'm adding in these beautiful white hydrangeas, some blue hydrangeas, and some more of those pretty florals. Here's what the finished product looks like, and oh my goodness, I'm over the moon and in love with this. I may even end up popping this out into my front yard bike, but it was way too hot today for me to go outside and do any decorating. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take this Americana Dollar Tree sign. I think it's an adorable sign, but I'm going to take my Waverly wax in the antique color and my little Dollar Tree sponge brush, and I'm just going to give it a good antiquing. It's really going to give it that Americana vintage vibe that I'm going for with this display, and I just think it makes it look a little bit more chic and vintage. So you just continue to apply the wax over the entire project project. Now I'm overlaying it onto this wreath form, and I was lucky to find one of these large bows at Dollar Tree. It was actually the last one. And a little tip with these bows is to give them a good fluffing. Those little loops need to be fluffed out some. Now I'm taking some greenery and I'm popping some greenery onto either side of the wreath form, and I do go back in later and wire it all down. I'm also adding in one of those cute little burlap bows, and I'm taking bundles from Dollar Tree. They have these bundles of red, white, and blue roses that are perfect for 4th of July Americana decor, patriotic, and I'm adding them to either side. I didn't even clip them off their stems. They were just perfect just as they are, which I love. And then I added this little burlap Americana bow into the center, and we are getting so festive. I'm adding some American flags to either side. Dollar Tree carries them 3 to a pack for $1, which is super great. They're so great and versatile to pop into vases or wreaths, and it's going to give you that USA Americana patriotic vibe on the cheap for sure. So here is how it turned out. I am going to leave this one inside because I just loved it so much. It's so festive and happy and really helps me celebrate the 4th of July and the Americana theme. Now I may move it around. I'm not for sure how I'm going to decorate yet my entire house for 4th of July, or if I'm just going to add in pops here and there, but super fun and fabulous. And don't forget to wire everything down if you are going to be using this type of display piece outside. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take 2 of these stars garlands, and so they come 3 to a garland, and then I'm just going to take some of my Waverly wax in the antique color and this Dollar Tree sponge brush, and I'm just going to begin to gently sponge brush the wax in and around the tips of the star. So I want to leave a little bit of the sparkle and shine on the star. I think it's really super cute, but I did want to antique it and give it a little bit more of an aged look. And I'm going to go ahead and do that to all of the stars in this garland. Again, I really want it to appear a little bit more antiqued and festive, and I even thought about adding some bows, which I may go back in and do later, but I just knew that this garland would be perfect for my little dining room shelf for it to hang down. I even also might do one for my mantle if I decide to go Americana for my mantle. So here is what it looks like with that little bit of aged and distress, and I may even go back in with some white paint and give it even some more dimension. Now that I'm looking at it while I'm editing it and talking to you guys, I think that would be really cute to take some chalk paint and chalk paint in between and just really give it a ton of dimension. But so maybe some of these are a little bit of a work in progress. Comment and let me know if you guys are a work in progress and your crafts are as well. I feel like that's just a constant theme in my life and with my crafting projects. So here is what my finished garland looks like. I just hot glued those little 2 burlap pieces together, and I am loving this. It is so festive, over the top. Again, I may move some pieces around. It's a little bit bold for my dining room on its own. And then the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to create a Dollar Tree Deco mesh. I'm going to be using 3 rolls of the red Dollar Tree Deco mesh and 3 rolls of the white Dollar Tree Deco mesh, and then a roll of burlap fabric, and it is from burlapfabric.com. I will leave a coupon code below and a link if you all are interested, and Walmart also sells burlap fabric. So I'm just cutting all of these pieces of mesh and fabric. They're about 10 to 12 inches. I'm just kind of eyeballing it because I'm not super precise on my measurements, but if you all wanted to, you could measure each piece. Now I'm taking and I'm gathering it up and creating this little ruffle in my hand, and I'm starting with the red, and then I gather the white, and you could also use a chip clip if you need help holding these 2 pieces together while you gather your last piece. Now I'm just gathering the burlap fabric. So together you just kind of ruffle it up between your fingers. It doesn't have to be perfect. And once I have them all gathered together, I'm just putting them all in one piece, and then I'm taking a pipe cleaner and I want to wrap the pipe cleaner around the entire bundle, and then I'm going to twist the bundle in the back a couple of times. Try to get it as tight as you can. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, and then you can also kind of fan it out just a bit if you like. Now I am going to take this bundle and I'm going to go to the center part of my wreath, and I'm going to just pipe cleaner this on. So you just take your pipe cleaner and you wire it on to the center part of that first rung. And for this wreath, I just use all of the center of the entire wreath. So I made 4 bundles for each section of the wreath. So this is sectioned off, I believe, into about 5 or 6 sections. And so you just continue to make your bundles. So you want to ruffle those pieces together. Again, I'm using red, white, and burlap, and I did alternate. A couple of them were just all white, or a couple of them were all red. It's good also to make your bundles in advance. That'll kind of help speed up the process. Maybe put on a TV show, because it does take a bit of time to make the bundles. So I'm just continuing to make more bundles, and then I'm just tying them on with my pipe cleaner. And again, you guys, this does not have to be perfect. Deco mesh was always really scary for me, but the more I've tried it, the easier it's really gotten. This is a really fun and easy one. Also, if you can't find Deco mesh at Dollar Tree, Walmart carries Deco mesh as well as the craft stores. So you're just going to continue to add more and more bundles. And then I'm taking these patriotic bows. I also found these. They were 2 to a pack at Dollar Tree, and I'm wiring them on to the center part of the mesh with a pipe cleaner. So for this project, I used 3 rolls of red Dollar Tree mesh, 3 rolls of white Dollar Tree mesh. They're both 6.5 inches wide and 5 yards long. And then I used 1 roll of the burlap ribbon, and it was 6.5 inches wide and 10 yards long. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, we're going to create a terry bow using the Pro Bow the hand. So you're just going to take your wired ribbon and you're going to add a piece of wire to the base of your ribbon and tie it around your first loop here, and then tie it around this peg. Now this is the terry bow. If you go to Pro Bow the hand YouTube channel, or just type in terry bow, you'll find some really great detailed instructions. But you want to just take your ribbon and loop it up around that first peg. Now the pegs are what the Pro Bow the hand calls your fingers. So I did order this bow maker a couple of years ago. It's really great for me to use if I'm having problems with my hands, which I tend to have sometimes. I'm not able to hold and make the really larger bows, so this one is great. So you can see I'm just adding in that first piece of wire, and you're going to use the same piece of wire to continue to add each ribbon. And with the terry bow, you can add 5 to 6 ribbons. I believe this is very similar to the funky bow. So after you add your first 2 loops, you're just going to dovetail your ends, and then you can add in your second ribbon. So you can see I'm just adding in the second ribbon. I'm using that same piece of wire. I just twist mine on, and then I loop it around the top part of the bow maker. And again, those little pegs are what they call the fingers. And so you just tie it on again with some more wire. You loop it up again and down, and then you tie it on again with some more wire. And the goal is to kind of keep your base wire, that base bottom peg, if this is making sense, is what holds the entire bow. And you're just going to continue on with that process. Again, I'll link all my bow tutorials down below if you guys need an easier bow or a more detailed instruction. But once you have your terry bow all finished up, or whatever bow you choose, you can give it a really, really good fluffing. And this is the secret to my bows, is lots and lots of fluffing. So I'm continuing to fluff this bow, and then I couldn't resist and adding another bow. Dollar Tree makes these great burlap already pre-made bows. If you guys don't want to try to make a bow, just add one of those bows. They're super easy, super simple, and they're only $1. Now I'm adding in some of that Dollar Tree raffia just to give this some texture and to give it a little bit more of a rustic chic
look. I did add another patriotic bow off to the left, and then I'm using some of those Dollar Tree, I believe these are spider plants, and I just clipped off a couple of the little spider plants. I did have a bundle of tulips. I added a couple of tulips, and then I loved this. This was one of those Dollar Tree plant stakes, and I just took it off the plant stake and added the little "In God We Trust" heart. I just hot glued that onto the wreath and then added just a couple of more florals in and around there. And that deco mesh really saves the day with an outdoor wreath that you want to last for a month or so. You don't have to spend much on it, and it really looks really high-end and chic without breaking the bank. So I'm loving this. I thought it came out super festive. Patriotic Bunting was on the Pottery Barn website for between $50 and $100, and we are going to do it on a teeny tiny budget. So I'm just taking this Dollar Tree bunting and a pizza box, and I'm going to trace out the bunting, but I'm going to make it a little bit larger than the pizza box because I want to take a piece of fabric and line the bunting with some fabric to give it a little bit more stability and to class it up just a bit. And now I'm just tracing around the piece of cardboard, and then I'm going to cut out the piece of fabric. Now, I wasn't completely precise on all of this, but I did want to have a little bit of a rustic, chic, patriotic look. The other thing I did was I found this long old curtain rod in my garage, and I'm repurposing it for my front porch. So you can see I'm just marking off on each end how big the width of the curtain rod is, and I'm going to create this with a hot glue gun. You guys know me, and so I'm just going to hot glue a little tab at the top of my fabric, and that's going to slide on to my repurposed curtain rod for my front porch patriotic bunting. So I just hot glued one long strip all along this fabric, and then I'm pressing it down. Again, that's creating that tab. Now, even though the Pottery Barn bunting was adorable, I had to give this a super extra touch. You all know me. I had to go in with some lace. I repurposed this lace from an old tablecloth, and I cut it out the same size as my striped fabric. And then you can see I'm just folding it over, and then I'm going to hot glue it. Again, you guys could be really precise with this, but I wanted it to have that shabby chic look, so I didn't want it to be completely perfect. And also, I'm pretty impatient with my projects. So you can see I'm just cutting off the excess lace. Again, the entire bunting is going to fit onto the curtain rod with that first striped tab that we created. Now, Mr. Romantic helped me figure out that if I took the top layer of the bunting and just hot glued it over, that would get rid of those tabs. I didn't really care for those tabs. Now, if you guys are okay with them, that's great. But I wanted to kind of conceal them and give it a little bit more of a classy approach. Plus, I didn't need the little tab grommets. So I went ahead and lined this up, and then I'm hot gluing it again to the top of this, and then I'm going to add this, and cross my fingers this all stays in one piece on my front porch all the way to the 4th of July. It does get pretty hot where I live, but where I'm hanging this is going to be underneath the covered part of my front porch, and I enlisted Mr. Romantic to help with this part.
Babe, that looks really good. Yes. Thank you, babe.
So here is the finished product. I am so in love with this. I've always dreamed of having one of these buntings across my front porch. I just never knew how to go about hanging one, and repurposing this old curtain rod was the perfect solution.
For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you all how to make a beautiful blooming floral using one of the Dollar Tree wine buckets. Okay, so this is so easy. All you guys have to do is grab a Dollar Tree wine bucket and pop some foam inside of it, and then like some little rocks. And then I'm taking some Dollar Tree greenery, and you want to cut the greenery at the stem. And so I have some of the leafy greenery from Dollar Tree, and then also some of this kind of like spiny, it almost looks a little bit like a eucalyptus greenery. I'm not for sure. It just says greenery on the tag. But anyway, I'm going to alternate the fluffy greenery with the smaller greenery, and you want to bunch them really close together. So I was watching a floral designer over the weekend, and I saw how he was doing a fresh flower arrangement, and he was using a ton of greenery, and it turned out beautifully. Now he was doing a bouquet of roses, but I thought we could try doing something using Dollar Tree supplies and doing something more summer themed. So I ended up loving how this turned out. But the key is what he said, and is what I'm going to pass along to you guys, is to do all of your greenery around the base and make it really, really nice and full. And then you can just choose a couple of really beautiful select flowers to put in the center. And so really get it really nice and full. So for this wine bucket, I'm using 4 bundles total of this greenery. So 2 of the big stem leafy and then 2 of the little eucalyptus, and I did cut them. Usually I'm kind of lazy with my arrangements and I just pop greenery in, on the stem. But I will tell you guys, I feel like cutting the greenery just made such a huge improvement and difference in how it looked. It was a little bit more time consuming, but I will tell you it was kind of therapeutic. And I think my next goal for one of my upcoming floral arrangements would be to do something with fresh flowers. I've never really tried a fresh flower arrangement. Anyway, I'm continuing to add some greenery, and then for this one, I wanted to make this a very versatile arrangement. So in my mind, I thought, let's do something that can go through the summer. I chose a summer white, this white hydrangea, and this is actually one of the Michael's clearance Christmas flowers. So believe it or not, it has a tiny bit of like glittery snow on the ends, but you really can't see it at all. I promise you. That's a little tip that I shared with you guys a couple months ago, is to shop the craft stores on their clearance time. Now these were some Valentine's Day roses that I had left over. I just trimmed them off their stem, and then I'm popping 4 of these in, and then I use 4 of the hydrangea bundles. And check this out. I feel like it came out really nice. I've never been professionally trained in flower arranging, but I feel like it looks pretty darn sweet. I popped in some Dollar Tree American flags into this, and I'm going to display this on my front porch. It's going to honor Memorial Day, 4th of July, and I just think it feels and looks really festive. And then once those holidays are over and we get into, the end of July, September months, I can remove some of the summer flowers and add in something like some sunflowers that are going to begin to transition to fall. So I'm always thinking about how we can get a little bit more bang for our buck with our florals. Comment and let me know what you guys think about this. Are you going to be decorating for any kind of holiday in the next upcoming month or so? If so, 4th of July. Do you love to do sunflowers for summer? I love to hear how you all are brightening up your spaces, whether it be your front porch, back porch, or even inside your home. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take one of these sparkling hats and this pretty red check ribbon. I'm going to wrap it around the hat and then just tie it off. Now, if you guys see these hats in your Dollar Tree, grab a couple of extras for only $1. We can use these during the holidays, during Christmas time. So just a little quick tip. I saw them and instantly I thought of Frosty the Snowman. But for the 4th of July, for our patriotic celebration, I am going to do a beautiful little 4th of July centerpiece. And so I'm just going to take and I'm going to dovetail the ends of my ribbon to give it that nice boutique finish. Now, you guys could customize this to suit whatever type of home decor. Maybe you're not decorating for 4th of July, but you're decorating for lemons or shabby chic. Paint this hat, give it a paint job and your favorite ribbon and make it your own. Now I'm adding some floral foam, and so I'm just hot gluing that floral foam onto the base of the hat. Then I'm going to take some greenery and pop some greenery in. Now I decided to make a loopy bow. This, I'm going to show you guys a bow without using a bow maker. So you're just going to take your ribbon and pull it out, and I've got all the ribbons together. This is kind of what I call a sloppy bow. So I'm just going to add the ribbon, and then I've got it pinched, and then you're just going to pinch it again. So you're going to create another loop and pinch it again. And the loops don't have to match. They don't have to be perfect. This is a great way to reuse scrap ribbon as well. I'm going to take a pipe cleaner and I'm just going to tie it off, and that's going to secure everything together. And once you have that done, you can dovetail your ends. Now I'm taking this 4th of July sign. I love the Dollar Tree signs that have several different signs in them. Just a quick note, if you're a crafter and you sell your items, these are great to buy to break apart, which you guys may already know that. Okay, so I chose Home of the Brave. I really feel like the men and women that serve our country are so brave, and everybody, you know, I just want to pray for everybody out there right now. Pray for America. I did that while I was doing these DIYs actually, but anyway, so I'm just going to take some of this Dollar Tree florals, and I'm going to pop in some pretty red, white, and blue florals. They sell these little roses and little red flowers, just to pop it in here and make it extra festive and pretty, and just this really pretty centerpiece. Now you can see I'm kind of accidentally covering up Brave, but I do pull that out and make it to where you can see it a little bit better at the very end. So just continue to add really pretty florals. And again, if you're customizing this for a different holiday or a different look, just go for it. Add tons of florals, make the centerpiece gorgeous, and make it your own. Use whatever colors suit your fancy to celebrate your home decor. So now that I have that finished, I'm going to take this little Dollar Tree tag and some of this check ribbon, and I want to create a pretty little heart to kind of accent it and give it that designer boutique finish. So when you think of a designer items, they always do like a really pretty floral and bow, but then they add something surprising that you wouldn't think to add into a wreath. So think outside the box and add some glam jewels or just some different accents and touches. Really get creative. So I'm going to glue this on to the front of the heart. I think Home of the Brave, and this heart just signifies the heart of America, all the brave men and women. So thankful, and just praying for everyone in America, praying for America. And so then once I have that done, I do want to just go ahead and give it a little bit more of an accent. So a quick little tip for you, if you don't have a lot of a really pretty, more expensive ribbon, just cut a little small piece and pop that in, and that will still give you kind of that accent color without having to go over the top. So use something that you have more of generously, and then sparingly for that nicer high-end ribbon. So now I'm taking these beautiful jewels. Again, I get all of my jewels at totallydazzled.com. I'll leave the link below for you guys, but their jewels are so cheap. If you love to craft and give things a glam touch like I do, you guys are going to love their stuff, and Natalie is super sweet. So just pop some jewels in. I popped one in by my heart and then up by the Home of the Brave, and that just gave it that extra special sparkle and shine that I love, just to doll it up, dress it up, and make it a little bit more fancy.
Now for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm taking some of the roses that I picked out of my garden, and I'm just adding 2 of the foam wands. They come 4 to a pack from Dollar Tree, and what I love about them is they have a plastic wand, so you can stick them in your fresh flower arrangements. And I really think it's fun to even stick little 4th of July goodies, flags, a foam wand into some of your pink shabby chic girly flowers. And then I just tied this cute little handkerchief that I found at Dollar Tree off to the side to give it again that bit of rustic chic patriotic, but then also bringing in my favorite shabby chic flowers. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm using one of those Dollar Tree sun hats, and then a leftover patriotic bow and some of that leftover raffia. And this is such an easy, fun DIY that you can add to your porch decor. I had my little garden bike in mind, but anyway, I'm just tying that little raffia around the little patriotic part of this bow, and then I'm just using the original ribbon that was on this sun hat, and I'm tying my patriotic bow on. You could get really fancy with this, but because I'm going to do a fancy floral in my bike basket, I wanted something a little bit more simple to hang on the front part of the bike. I think this came out so perfect. I know you all thought that the sun hat looked cute, and I may go ahead and buy one for myself to wear, but it did come out cute in my garden bike decor. Now for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm just taking some popsicle sticks and I'm hot gluing them to the back of this large Dollar Tree sign. It says God bless America. It's a little bright and sparkly, but you know what? 4th of July is bright and sparkly, and so am I. So I'm just creating a little floral planter. I'm using one of those Dollar Tree floral planters that I chalk painted white. and I kind of distressed the front. And I added the God Bless America sign and some spider plants left over from my wreath. And then Dollar Tree sells these American flags. They come 3 to a pack, and they're great to add to your floral arrangements. And it's even fun to use just the flags if you don't want to redo a whole new floral. Of course, you know me, I love to go with tons of florals for each holiday. So now I'm just adding in some of those Dollar Tree blue hydrangeas, and then I'm adding in a couple of those Dollar Tree red tulips. I really want to make this red, white, and blue with a little bit more of a classy touch to it. So I felt like the tulips and the hydrangeas, I believe I got a couple of little white flowers, and then I love these spider plants. Again, these are from Dollar Tree as well. They give a lot of dimension to your floral arrangement. And then also I had some of those Dollar Tree red roses left over from Valentine's Day. I was really excited to use these because they look so real. So I just popped a couple of those in the back because they were a little bit taller. And then I had a little bit of stray greenery that was in my craft stash. If you guys need some craft organizing ideas, I did do a craft organization video. It really helped me know actually what I have before I started decorating. And so I just popped this into my little bike basket. Again, this could sit at an entryway table. And I did add a little patriotic bow with some raffia to the front part of that arrangement as well. I think this came...
For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take this Dollar Tree USA sign, and I had taken some antique wax and antiqued it with just the Waverly wax. You get it at Walmart. It's in the antique color, and I am going to take this painter's tape and I'm going to begin to trace out the checkerboard pattern on this side of the sign. If you guys can see on the other side of the sign, I went ahead and did one side for you so I knew how to do it, and also so you guys could kind of know what we're going to be doing. But you're just going to run a line down the center where your stars are, and then you're going to use your tape and mark out the checkerboard pattern, and we're going to paint it again in that royal check Mackenzie Childs high-end designer on a budget for us way. So I'm just taking now, and I'm going to go every other one. So I'm taking that royal blue paint, and this is just blue paint from Arteza Craft Company. Now it did need a little bit more of a navy undertone to totally match the Mackenzie Childs blue, but this is what I had on hand, and so this is what we're going to use. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint my checks on here every other one, and I did switch to a smaller paintbrush because this is a smaller project. So hopefully that helps. And also dabbing your paint in water also helps. Now I did decide to run a piece of tape down this side. That way it had a little bit more of a guide and I wouldn't have so many oopsies. I do have neuropathy in my hands and feet, so sometimes my hands can be a little bit shaky or not as accurate as I would hope for. But again, with this hand painted look, there's so much grace because it's supposed to look hand painted. There's supposed to be imperfections. It's not going to look perfect like it was, made in a factory. You're making this yourself, or repainting it yourself, I guess is what you would say. I think these Dollar Tree signs are absolutely adorable, and just dazzling them up and kind of making them suit your fancy. And also I'm going in now with some white paint because I do want to do those white and blue. And I did do 2 coats of the white paint, and then I did another coat over the blue paint with some extra white paint. Now I'm taking that white paint and I'm just dabbing it over the original blue paint. So I'm just using a little bit of white and blue kind of mixed together because I want to tone down the darkness of the blue and kind of give it that really pretty hand painted look. Mackenzie Childs does what they call a royal courtly check, and I love it for summer. I think it's so gorgeous, and I just thought it would be fun to customize some of these Dollar Tree signs, and these are so fun and fabulous, and you guys can have this look for next to nothing. So now I'm going in with some of this gold Arteza paint. I do love the Arteza paints, but you guys can really use any nice acrylic paint. Walmart even has it with the apple barrel craft paint. It's like 50 cents for a little tube of it, and Dollar Tree I noticed is even carrying paints. I picked some up this week and I'm going to try some out and see what I think about it. So here it is after I added the gold accents, and I am loving it. I was able to customize it and make it look like the little plates. Now for this next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to take several of the Dollar Tree lays. So I grabbed 4 bundles of lays, and so in each bundle there's 3 lays. So what I'm going to do is just take this little Dollar Tree styrofoam frame and some zip ties, and I'm just going to zip tie this lay to the frame. So I zip tied it on each end, then trimmed off the zip tie, and I tried to keep the zip ties all on one side, like the little bumpy end. That way you guys can't see it, or my guests that come to my front door can't see it. So again, I'm zip tying this next lay on here, and you're just going to continue on with this process. So you can either zip tie the zip tie around the lay part, or you can try to string it through. I tried it both ways and it seemed to work pretty good both ways. The other idea for a wreath like this is to completely remove each lay and just hot glue them to the base of the wreath. Now I did that last summer, so you guys can always go back and check out my huge summer videos from last year, but I wanted to give you guys a different spin on how you can do a summer lay wreath. And Dollar Tree will carry lays in different colors. They have some beautiful pastel colors that will be coming out for midsummer, but I thought this would be really fun and fabulous for a 4th of July wreath, just something really neat. And the other idea for this is this would make a great little centerpiece. So you could build like an arrangement, a floral arrangement in the center of this, pop this onto a little outdoor summer garden party table, and you'd be good to go. So there's 2 ways really that you could use this, one as a wreath and then one as like a little centerpiece. And comment down below if you guys have any other ideas for how you could use this. But I thought, especially if you're crunched for time and you don't want to get out your glue gun and you just want to make a really quick little simple wreath, I thought this was a pretty fantastic idea. Again, pop on a show, grab some zip ties. Now, I will tell you that the Dollar Tree lays shed. If you guys can see very closely on my crafting table, they shed a lot, so you may want to put down, a piece of plastic or whatnot if you're working in a space that you don't want to get a bunch of little threads on, I guess what they were. Now I'm taking some of these pre-made patriotic bows. These are one of my favorite things to grab at the Dollar Tree for the 4th of July, and I'm just going to zip tie the patriotic bow onto my little lay here, and that's going to keep it on really nice and sturdy. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of ribbon and tie that over the zip tied part so you don't see the zip tie. We want to make our work look as seamless as possible. And another thing is that I was thinking is be really cute to jazz it up with a jewel in the center. Now, if you were doing something like this for Memorial Day and you're going to be placing this for a loved one, I was thinking you could use a special brooch or badge or whatnot right here in the center. I think would be really nice to honor somebody that you care for. So here's how it turned out. I will be displaying this by my front door. And I hope to actually make some more. It was really fun and easy. I actually too thought about putting it on my little front garden bike. Let me know, you guys, should we put it by the front door or my garden bike? It's pretty cute. DIY, I want to share with you all how to create a tobacco basket for an Americana 4th of July patriotic holiday. So I'm taking this tobacco basket that I found at Dollar General. You can find them pretty much at any craft store. And then this America sign that I found at Dollar Tree. And then just a piece of floral foam. And I'm going to hot glue that floral foam to the base of the basket. Then I'm going to take some greenery. You can find greenery really at any craft store. I think I found this one maybe at Walmart. and I'm going to pop that greenery in. And you want to also hold on to that foam and make sure it hot glues onto there really well. And so just continue to pop in some greenery, and then I'm going to take some of these Dollar Tree white hydrangeas and pop those into either side. I love to do a tobacco basket. It's just something that's a little bit different than a wreath, and you can set it on top of things, which is super fun. And now I'm taking some of those blue Dollar Tree hydrangeas, and then here's those red roses that we made in kind of that Mackenzie Childs fashion with the Mackenzie Childs dupe ribbon. I'm popping those onto either side, and then now comes the super fun part. I'm going to take this easy bow maker. You can buy these at the craft stores or online, and I'm just going to use some of this red check ribbon. I found the red check ribbon actually on Amazon. I'll link some down below for you guys. I'll link my Amazon store with all my crafting supplies. So I'm just going to take it, I'm going to measure out 5-inch loops on either side, and I will tell you that this easy bow maker really and truly is easy. Now if you don't have an easy bow maker, that's okay. I have a huge bow video for you linked down below where you guys don't have to have an easy bow maker. You can make the Olivia bow. It's also a beautiful bow. I've just got this new tool, so I'm like a kid at a candy shop and I want to play with it. It's just like a new crafting toy. Okay, so now I'm taking some Dollar Tree burlap lace ribbon. I want to do red, white, and blue. I didn't have white ribbon, but I did have this Dollar Tree ribbon, and I always try to use wired ribbon. And again, I'm measuring 5 inches on each side of my ribbon. Now I'm going in with this blue check ribbon. I found it on Amazon. I'll link my Amazon store down below for you guys, and I'm again measuring 5 inches on each side. So the loops will be 5 inches and the tails will be 5 inches. Don't forget to dovetail those ends and cut that pretty boutique triangle in it. Now I'm taking some of that faux Mackenzie Childs ribbon, dovetail those ends, give it a boutique finish, and I'm going to do this loop a little bit smaller, so 4 inches across on either side. The Easy Bow Maker does have the measuring tool already on there, which I absolutely love. But again, you can make this super easy, no problem, by hand. My hands, I've been doing so much painting that this bow maker, that was definitely helping me. Okay, so I'm also going to take the pipe cleaner and just twist it together, and that's going to keep my bow nice and tight together. Now, I will tell you that the secret to my bows, and really any bow, is fluffing. That wired ribbon really needs to be pulled and fluffed, and just play with it and mess with it until you get it absolutely how you want it. And that's really going to be the key to making a fabulous, gorgeous bow. Now, you're going to find the center part of your tobacco basket, and I like to take just a floral stem off of a floral, bend it down, and then pop that into my piece of floral foam. You may want to hot glue it to really get it to stay if it's going to be on a door, but mine's just going to be sitting on my dining room shelf, and that's all there is to it. Very few florals involved, some ribboning, yes, and then a pretty sign to your tobacco basket, and you're set to go with this fabulous, amazing creation. This would definitely be very expensive in a store, and it's boutique gorgeous on a budget. You guys can totally do this one. Dollar Tree DIY. I want to take these USA Dollar Tree signs and some Waverly wax. It's in the antique wax color, and I'm just using this Dollar Tree sponge brush, and I'm going to gently apply wax all over the entire sign. And this is going to make this super adorable Dollar Tree sign just appear very vintage and aged. I noticed when I went to the craft stores the other day that the Americana Patriotic Decor had this really cool kind of patina to it, and so I actually really love these Dollar Tree large tag signs, but I wanted to just make them appear more aged and have that really cool vintage Americana vibe. Here is the final look. I popped them onto the shelf that's in my dining room, mixed in with my Mackenzie Childs teapot, and I think they look fabulous. Again, I think they're super adorable, but adding that wax just gives them a little bit more vintage flair, and it makes them appear more aged. And I couldn't resist throwing in a cute little clip of our Benji Bear. He is just exploring some of the flower beds at one of the resorts that's close to our house where I live. So as always, please let me know what was your favorite DIY in this video and which one will you be recreating. For this Dollar Tree DIY, I am so excited to share with you guys a patriotic 4th of July scarf wreath. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to take one of the Dollar Tree wreath forms and add a little scarf to it. I actually shared this with you guys in another video, but this time we're going to do a 4th of July spin on it. So just hot glue that scarf to the base of the wreath and gently wind it around your wreath form. We're going to use 2.5 scarves for this. And I just want to let you guys know that any idea I share with you, you can always take this and modify it. Dollar Tree is always putting out the cutest, little most adorable scarves. And again, for this one, we are going to be doing 4th of July. Originally, I shared it in a nautical form. Okay, so to make this 4th of July wreath happen, check out this adorable welcome gnome. We're going to use that as a centerpiece, but I want to share with you guys a quick little bow. So you're going to take the ribbon and loop it over on itself. And this is just some ribbon I found off of Amazon. You guys Google patriotic or striped ribbon. Loop it over on itself 3 times. Pinch it in the center to where you have like several little loops. And then you're going to zip tie it off. Twirly things. Listen, you guys, these are so fun to create, and I'm telling you, I think summer crafting should be so easy, and this is a really easy little craft you guys can easily do with your grandkids or your kiddos. So I'm going to trim that off in the center, and boom. Now the next thing I want to do is just kind of zhuzh up some ribbon here. So I took some extra little string details here. I'm adding them, tucking them underneath this little bow, and then zhuzhing them to the side. Use your hot glue gun, add some hot glue, some zhuzh, and some flavor, and you guys are good to go. So think about this too in another aspect where if you guys find a cute little scarf at Dollar Tree, you can create an easy wreath with your scarf, number 1, your sign, number 2, and your bow, number 3, and boom, you guys have a fun and fabulous decor piece on a budget. For this next DIY, I want to share with you guys how to make a super easy, adorable little patriotic floral display. So grab some floral lays from the Dollar Tree in 2 different vases. Now this larger vase I actually got from Walmart, but the smaller vase was from Dollar Tree. Pop that smaller vase down in there and then add your little festive lays around the smaller vase and then pop some pretty florals in, and boom, you guys have the easiest little floral arrangement you'll ever find. And you can change this out. You could maybe do like a Hawaiian display as well. Okay, so now we're going to easily add in some greenery and then a cute little 4th of July flag. And this is going to be an amazing, easy centerpiece for your holiday barbecue. I know for the summer, you guys don't want to be like going crazy, doing tons of crafts. Let's save that for the fall and Christmas. This is such a fun little easy DIY and it costs next to nothing. Again, this is a $5 vase from Walmart and then one of the little Dollar Tree vases. Add in some greenery, a cute little 4th of July flag, and you guys are good to go. For this next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you guys how you can make a super adorable little fun gnome sign on a budget. So take one of those larger Dollar Tree signs, grab one of the little Dollar Tree gnome signs, and then hot glue it to the back of this. And I'm so sorry, my voice is a little bit sketchy here, but I've had terrible allergies lately. Anyway, you want to grab one of the Dollar Tree little fun pre-made bows. Listen, I love their pre-made bows. Hot glue that to the top and you guys are done. Easy on a total budget. For this Dollar Tree DIY, I want to show you guys how to make a super easy little Dollar Tree centerpiece. Hey, grab one of those Dollar Tree buckets and hot glue some of the styrofoam to the center. And then they have this beautiful eucalyptus that they're putting out. Cut off some of those pieces and then add them into the centerpiece of your little styrofoam. And you guys are so good to go for Dollar Tree centerpieces for the 4th of July. Now, listen, think about this. You guys can easily change out the buckets to match any season. And I've shared this with you guys so many different times where you guys can change out these different buckets, add in some greenery, add in some festive holiday decor, and you guys have an easy centerpiece on a total budget. So again, for this one, we're adding eucalyptus, and you guys can add some fun little ferns and a cute little 4th of July flag. And here is how this super adorable, fun, little easy arrangement turned out. Oh my goodness, I think these are so cute to put out for your centerpiece or, you know, by your front door on your entryway table, really any place that you want to jazz up some of your holiday decor. I love doing touches of holiday decor throughout my home, and so this is just a really easy way to do that. Pretty much grab any bucket from the Dollar Tree and you guys are good to go. Fun and fabulous on a budget. For this Dollar Tree DIY, I want to show you guys how you can make a super adorable little Dollar Tree 4th of July wreath on a total budget using one of those Dollar Tree scarves. Hot glue it to this star wreath form. Now listen, they're putting out the most amazing little wreath forms, and grab those for $1 and some change and that little cute little scarf and twisty tie around. So I just hot glue it to the base of the scarf, wrapped it around, and then used about 2 or 3 of these and called it good. Listen, this is a fun craft you guys can do on a total budget with your kiddos and grandkids. Listen, but make sure that you help them with that hot glue gun. And I'm telling you guys right now, this is such a fun and easy way to create a festive wreath. I love to create festive decor using Dollar Tree supplies and the scarves. They put out so many fun scarves and you're always wondering, what should I do with this besides wear it as a scarf? Here is the perfect answer for that. Wind it around that wreath form, and you guys, this is so fun. And you guys can decorate it however you love to do. You can add bows to it. You can add, like, I had these little lays off to the side thinking I was going to use them, but I think I'm going to use them on another craft. But hot glue that little base. Here's an idea. Use one of their pre-made bows. Boom, you guys have a wreath on a budget. I feel like summer crafting should be so simple and easy. I'm going to take this Dollar Tree ribbon, wrap it around itself, pinch it off in the center, and call it good. And again, this is $1 and some change. I know Dollar Tree went up to, I think, to $1.25, so bear with us here on that, but pinch it in the center and then add a zip tie. I have been crushing on zip ties recently, and it's just going to really hold your ribbons together so much better. And I so apologize for my voice. In this video, I've had the most terrible allergies. It's been hard for me to talk. I'm drinking tea right now. But anyway, you guys, so I'm going to trim off that little spot there from the zip tie and then fluffy out my bow. That's going to give you guys a nice little gorgeous bow. And then we're going to tie that off in the center here. How cute is this? I think this is so adorable. Now listen, I want you guys to check for the really nice detailed ribbon that they're putting out. Dollar Tree's putting out some gorgeous ribbon. Tie that off in the center, and then you guys have a beautiful little fun patriotic bow.
Give me your strength and show me your weakness. We're in this together now. We're in this together now. Give me your love and tell me your secrets. 'Cause we're in this together now. Yeah, we're in this together now.
Okay, so here is how it turned out. I think it's really super adorable. It's maybe a little bit funky, but hey, we like some funky, cute, boutique, gorgeous decor on a budget. Now listen, as always, I ask that you guys comment and let me know what was your favorite DIY in this video and which one will you be recreating? Here is my favorite little puppy dog, Benji Bear. He wants to say hi to you guys. I know we have Benji Bear fans out there, and some of you guys just watch these videos for him. He's dressed up for you in his cute little scarf.
So thank you all so much for joining me on another fun and fabulous crafty decor adventure. It is a true blessing and honor to have you all here. If you all are new, welcome. I'm Olivia with Olivias Romantic Home, and I love to share with you guys how you can make your homes boutique, gorgeous on a budget. I truly believe that crafting and decorating should be fun and just kind of like a stress reliever. Although sometimes I do get a little bit stressed when I'm crafting and it doesn't go as planned. And hey, listen, speaking of going as planned, sometimes crafts, decorating, and life in general doesn't go as planned. I want to encourage you guys to give yourself some grace. We are all going through something, right? The last couple of years has been very, very difficult for a lot of people. And I don't think anybody has come out of these last couple of years unscathed. So just remember to give everybody grace, especially if you're online. You might see somebody post something and you're like, that really made me angry. Or somebody does something that makes you angry. Take a time out, take a couple of minutes to just pause before you react. I know that can be so difficult, especially for me, It's so easy to react quickly, but give yourself some time out, a couple hours, maybe even a couple days, and pray, read some prayer cards, get out your Bible, just do something to kind of get that out. I like walking Benji Bear, my puppy dog. But anyway, I just want to encourage you guys to what you put out into the space, especially the internet space. You don't ever know who is ingesting that, I guess. So, when you leave a comment that might not be very nice, that's putting negativity out there, to be honest with you. So try to put some kind of things out there, like leave some hearts for people's, friends or grandkids that are, they're posting about this or that. If you see a political post or something that you don't care for, just keep scrolling. It's not necessary to always, comment on everything that you see out there. I promise you, when you put goodness out, goodness will come back to you. So do your best to be kind online, and also do your best to give yourself some grace. And wherever you're at in your life journey, your crafting journey, your decorating journey, give yourself some grace. We all become a little bit better with a little bit more practice. We get a little bit better. And it's not the end of the world if you mess up a $1 or $2 craft, or maybe it's in a couple dollars. Don't give up. Keep going. Keep trying. Keep learning. That's what keeps you young, is that keep at it attitude. So anyway, that's my spiel for today. I love y'all. I'm hugging all of your hearts so tight. I'm wishing you a gorgeous, fabulous, blessed day. Until our next video, remember, be kind to yourselves and be kind to one another. I'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye-bye.